What's up everybody, Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing Steel Support. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have fast travel, healing towers, armored, damage return, consume the dead, and armor aura for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Lamplighter, Coin Master, Exoskeleton, Green Spring, Radiant Healer, Protective Sentry, Growth Totem, Vital Waters, Coursing Zephyr, Thunder Cleaver, Battle Shepherd, and Unbroken Spirit. Now I am in a 5-stack with the pirate crew, and you know it's been a rough day, guys. So we've had a couple of good matches, a couple of bad ones, but I've been forgetting to record audio. I changed a few settings on my recording software, and I've actually had a couple of games that were amazing, but I didn't record audio. So instead, I went back in and we recorded another game, and I decided to play Steel as support. Now, I did try to change up his deck, and I end up going Growth Order, which last time I was Growth Death. You know, that's kind of what I've been trying to do lately. Instead of playing the same old decks, just, you know, try something out. Now, this is much more of a support deck than the Death Order or Death Growth build, because I do have wards, but, you know, to be quite honest, I kind of get away from wards. I think wards are great, but with this team comp and with all of us being in comms, you know, we're able to communicate very well, and I feel that I would have been better off with that death build, because, you know, running a card like Possessed Paragon is just so good. But is what it is, guys. We're trying out this order, and I gotta say, having wards is kind of nice. Now, I decided to go in on this Quang, and luckily, our ADC is able to wrap that kill up. You know, I did trade my life for his life, but I really wanted to force him out of lane. Our off lane has had a ton of trouble. Support and ADC are actually running Taskmaster, and you can see that lane is froze. I mean, it's not going anywhere, guys. So, you know, our Kalari's been struggling a little bit getting farm, so I really want to get this tower down so we can start rotating. And you can see at 3 minutes in, we've got a huge amount of damage on this tower now. Now, once I do get back in lane, you know, you can see Grux headed over here to get a gank, and, you know, hey, he does a decent job. Now, I was trying to turn to get that shield on, but I keep forgetting you can't turn when you pull your shield out, and I wasn't able to get that slow, but no problem. We do end up getting out. You know, since I do have that a little bit of ability armor, Quang probably would have taken me out with a little bit more, but, you know, hey, we're able to get out. I'm going to go ahead and head back and put on Green Spring. Now, after we spawn back in, we're just going to shove this lane, because we need to free up to rotate so we can really head over to our Kalari and help him, you know, get some damage on things, or, you know, just free him up to where he can start farming, or she. And, you know, with us having as much damage on this tower, you know, it's going to be 2 shots. We'll take it out. I'm going to go ahead and go in on Quang just a little bit so he does back off. But it's not my intention to stay in. You can see I'm just going to instantly turn around. I was just going to see maybe we could force him to back and maybe farm that next wave. But he wasn't too terrified of me. So I'm just going to start rotating from here. Hopefully look to actually make a play happen. I still need to get my ult, and you know that's a little bit of an issue, but hopefully we can get online soon. Now from here, I'm going to head over to Kalari, and you know, it'd be nice to get a gank, but since I am missing my ult, you know, there's not a whole lot I can do, but I can force them back, and that's exactly what we do. It's going to free Kalari up to slow farm just for a little bit. I go ahead and take out that, you know, turret in mid just to help deal with Iggy, and then head back to our safe lane. And we're just going to continue to farm. Now, the enemy team is rotating over, and you can see we dip out. We actually had some knowledge from our team, and, you know, that's really what that was. I throw up that shield just because I felt like it. And they end up having to back. Now, We do get a little bit of damage on Grux. That's probably not going to force him to back. He can probably just go to the jungle. But they are going to have to go deal with that lane since they chose to chase us instead of dealing with the minions. Our minions are going to start hitting their tower, and that puts us in a good position. Now from here, again, I'm just going to head back. I end up throwing on Exoskeleton, which, you know, I don't typically play with Coin Master, but I have been on Steel lately just because it's nice being able to get cards and, you know, putting it on just for those few seconds at the very beginning of the match lets you get those Lamplighters on a little bit earlier, so, you know, threw it on. Now, we do end up taking Raptor at 10 minutes, you know, almost 11 minutes, and Iggy heads over. Now, I'm going to go ahead and ult, and I don't have enough mana to actually get a stun, but that's quite alright. We end up barely getting out of this, but, you know, that ultimate was preemptive. You know, I did not want to run the risk of Iggy being able to steal that Raptor. Sure enough, we were able to keep him off. You know, Raptor, I do think it's a little too strong right now. I think they could probably just do away with the added bonus, you know, gold, movement speed, that kind of thing, and just go with straight power, and that would do something to balance it out, but it does seem a little strong to me right now. And really, if you're able to secure that Raptor a few times, it has a huge impact on the match. Now, I'm going to head down to my safe lane, you know, kind of hang out with my support, and just kind of see if we need to do anything. We're kind of getting pushed up a little far, and I head through this fog wall, and Grux is here. Now, I'm just yelling at my ADC, hey, man, just get out. You know, like, I'm not going to waste my ult on this. I'm dead. You know, they got me, and that's all there is. You know, I got out of position. I shouldn't have ran through that fog wall, but at least our ADC got out. You know, I didn't die for him because, you know, he wasn't out of position. But at least he didn't come down and try to save me because, you know, that would have probably just ended up us both dying. And, you know, hey, no problem. We're still early on. We're only level 5, so we got a couple of deaths. But, you know, hey, it's starting out as a rocky match. You know, I really miss having Possessed back in, I gotta say. But is what it is, guys. We're going to head back to our safe lane and see if we can make something happen. Now, like I said, I do head to this mid lane, and we're able to just kind of push this, and I'm going to leave that for Murdoch. Let him slow farm that. We got it out of the tower. I do head to mid, and, you know, I decided not to go even attempt to save that tower. Let them take it down. If they get out of position, maybe we can make something happen, but no problem. Now, I'm going to chase down this Revenant. You know, if I can just get a little bit of ground on him, we'll be able to ult him. And, you know, Murdoch is here, or, I'm sorry, Gideon is here, so with that slow, we should be able to get to him, and, you know, we're not able to. Now, I get kind of like this goofy little bug right here. You see how it, like, glitched back? I definitely would have been able to get that ultimate if we didn't have that, you know, slight little delay, but no problem. Murdoch gets that snipe, and we're able to take him out. Now, Gideon is caught under tower, so I go ahead and use that ultimate just to make sure Gideon gets out. And, you know, from here, you know, I am fairly tanky, so I'm able to just get out as well. And, you know, sure enough, great job. We end up taking out that ADC. We don't really make a whole lot happen with the tower, but removing that ADC is just so important, especially with Revenant. Revenant's a very tough hero once he gets higher level. You know, he can one-shot people, so preventing him from getting his farm is always worth it. Now, I do manage to pick up purple buff, and I'm kind of looking around going, hey, what can I make happen? But I don't have my ultimate since I just used it, and that's really not an issue. You can see Iggy knows I'm invis, and he's playing a little cautious. He's not really challenging, and he ends up actually backing. And since we have communication with mid, you know, our Gideon is saying, hey, you know, Iggy just backed for whatever reason. And I go and check Raptor, but, you know, Raptor's not up, so I don't really know what he's doing. But, hey, that's fine. Let's push mid, you know. Let's take this tower down. And, you know, they've got our mid-tier 1. Let's get their mid-tier 1. Sure enough, me and Gideon are able to take this tower out pretty uncontested. And, you know, that was like a full health tower. I'm not exactly sure why they didn't rotate over, but doesn't bother me, really. And we take that out and head back to our safe lane. Now, I'm kind of looking like, hey, something's going to happen here. And then Richter shows up. So, hey, we need to get out. Unfortunately, Grux stays in on this. And, I don't want to leave him. With their Grux showing up, this is a very bad engagement. We really do need to get out. And our Grux gets absolutely erased. I make another poor decision right here, and I end up going ahead and getting on to this Grux, and, I just get deleted, guys. That was a really poor decision on my half. Our Gideon was heading over, so I was thinking maybe, we'll get something happen. I just misjudged on how fast he was going to get over, and we end up getting erased and losing that tier 2. So we lost our jungle and our support and a T2 for nothing. That hurts, but, hey, we're going to be able to turn this around. I'm 0-3-1. I'm not doing very good, and, is what it is, guys. Now, I wanted to talk about this. Look above my health bar, guys. What is this? Who knows what this is? Because I don't. I don't know if this is something that's being added. I might have, stumbled across something that's just completely awesome, but it's definitely something. So, hey, if y'all know what it is, let me know. Now, they are going for Fang, and we're going to rotate over there. We end up wrapping up that Revenant kill, and Iggy's not getting away from me this time, guys. I'm going to go ahead and punish him as well. And, Quang is here. I want to definitely keep him off of Kalari. He's getting pretty tanky, but he is out of mana, so we might be able to make something happen. Grux is chasing, but, he's not going to be able to grab that, which, hey, that's quite all right. We're going to back out from here, and, again, no problem, guys. We got a great play right there at that Raptor pit. 3 for 1. That's always a good option. And from here, we're just going to put a ton of pressure in mid, and we should actually be able to take down this mid tier 2. Now, this also shows a good point in, this. Our ADC is staying out of range of the tower, and he's, chipping away on Richter when we really need him to be in that tower, hitting the tower. We could have downed it much faster. So, if you have some heroes in, a tower or whatever, guys, make sure to go in and help with the tower, because we can't really go in on the enemies until that tower falls when we have such a rotation like that. And downing that tower fast will not only help us survive a little bit longer, but, it might actually keep everybody alive. Unfortunately, Grux did end up going down there, but we took down a tier 2. We've been doing a lot of trade deaths in this match, and we are in a higher level match, so we are being punished severely for, these small little mistakes, but we are pushing the objectives. You can see we're just slaughtering the enemy team on the objective game. Having 2 Fangtooths to their 1, we're definitely winning this objective game, and that's really key, guys. Now, I wanted to check the exact time on Prime, or on the Fangtooth. You do get that circle with the little indicator, but I wanted to see the time, and that's why I headed over there. Now, Gideon uses his old, you can see, Deathcrawler Grux, man. Just instantly deletes. Now, I'm going to do a lot of raging about Deathcrawler Grux as soon as their Grux comes online. But, I gotta say, I'm not a fan of Deathcrawler Grux. You're crazy to play Grux without Deathcrawler right now, but I think it's just, it makes Paragon less fun, in my opinion. I don't think a hero should be able to one-shot anybody, and that's what we're experiencing right now. And like I said, I'm just not a fan. Now, we end up going to Raptor, and we're kind of baiting it. We're thinking, hey, everybody's going to collapse. Like I said, we're in a 4-stack, so, everybody but Grux is in comms. And, Grux ends up engaging on this just way too early, guys. I went over to hit Raptor, so I was baiting it. And since he went in so early, I was kind of forced to go in as well. And we just get into this sloppy team fight. We're in a bad position. Our team isn't there because we rounded that corner. They have to round the corner as well. They've got to put themselves out of position to help us. And, it's just a bad situation. And, he just really engaged that fight too early. I probably could have just let him die and not go in there at all. But, I saw him engage. It's like, okay, let's do it. But that was just a really poor choice of when and where to pick a fight. We actually, all four of us go down. Kalari does end up stealing the raptor, so that's great. We've got 3 raptors now, but we get 4 people down in that fight, and that could have very well been prevented. Instead of us being in that bad spot, they could have been in that bad spot. And I gotta say, guys, that was a very poor choice. And knowing when and where to engage is huge. And engaging that way is just always going to be a poor choice. Now, from here, we're going to just go to mid, kind of do typical things, and you saw that Revenant was so low. Man, it'd have been nice to take him out. But we do have a collapse here in the jungle, and again, Gideon used his ult, so I don't need to use mine. We were going to get that kill no matter what. That's the first time Gideon actually saved our Grux, which he does it again later. But, that Deathcrawler Grux, guys, he hits hard, and the only way to really deal with him, there's a couple of cards, there's a couple of gems that you can use, but the best way to deal with him is just CC him, because if he is building full damage, he's fairly squishy, and, if you get a couple of stuns on him, you should be able to focus and burn him down. And, that's exactly what we did. With that Gideon ult, we're able to just erase him. Now, Iggy is pushing our safe lane, and we're going to get a little bit of a collapse. Me and Kalari start heading over there. Kalari might be able to take her, but it's, risky. I'm going to just head over there and make sure we're able to take this Iggy. Now, Kalari does start the fight, and you can see that Iggy starts heading back to his turrets, and I'm there to just, I'm gonna stop that. Hit him with the ult, hit him with the stun, take him out before we risk taking too much damage, because, there's no sense in that. If he wouldn't have started backing towards his towers or his turrets, I could have just left that alone, but, hey, I'm going to be there to make sure we can take it. From here, we're going to get a free raptor out of this. Taking Iggy out, we're not having to worry about that, zoning threat. Richter does show up to contest, but, there's nothing he's going to be able to do. And we get our fourth raptor, actually. So we're starting to hit that power tap, and really, we're going to really start turning this fight. This has been kind of a one-sided match, which that's kind of how Paragon is now. You see, you can kind of tell the winner pretty early on, because, yeah, the matches just are so one-sided, and if you can get Fangtooth a couple of times, above your enemy, you're just at such a huge advantage. And, this is no special case, guys. This is exactly what's going to happen here. Now, from here, we're thinking, hey, we might take Prime, we might, kind of get set up for it. There's no reason to get our Raptor or anything like that. But Grux is here, and you can see that Grux does so much damage. He almost killed our Grux in one hit. And, right now, I'm just not feeling very comfortable with Prime. So, we're just going to go ahead and back off. Gideon doesn't have his ult anymore, which that's the second time he saved that Grux. I just want to point that out. And, hey, we're just going to keep pushing. We do have Unbroken Spirit and that Thunder Cleaver, so we do have some basic armor, and we'll see how good this basic armor does against that Deathcrawler Grux here in a little bit. But we're gonna just continue marching on and come over here, deal with this Iggy if we can. Iggy ended up juking us out a little bit. We are in a 4-stack, but Murdoch is not in comms with us, so he wasn't able to say, hey, Iggy's over by the gold buff, but, no problem. We might not have been able to take Iggy anyways, and from here, I'm going to kind of head over to mid. They've got their Revenant and their Iggy here in mid, and if we can get a good ult on them, we'll be able to take them out no problem, especially with, good old bully Grux, but they do have some wards, so they're able to back off. Now, this is kind of what I'm saying about wards, guys. The enemy team is using wards like crazy, but they're not able to stop our progress. Wards are absolutely huge, and, since wards don't have the impact that they used to, you can't just place wards everywhere. They're not as helpful. And you can see the enemy team has a ward here at Prime. It's not doing them any good. So I don't know. I kind of feel wards are good, but going on someone like Steel, I think there's just much better options. Now, we end up taking out this Iggy, easy peasy. We're able to take out that Richter, and Gideon ends up using his ult. I don't know how I went through his shield or his little portal, but I did. And, hey, that I had to save my life. But we end up losing 3 people here. We do secure that Grux. Our Gideon was able to secure Grux. So it's a 3-for-3 trade. But, we got Prime, which kept that out of their hands. But at the same time, we're not really going to be able to make a whole lot of plays with Prime. Now, I make a really poor choice in heading up there. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't see Quang for whatever reason. I thought it was just Revenant right there. And I had a feeling I'd be able to take Revenant. But, with that Quang there, I didn't even challenge him. And, you can see they chunked me down pretty good. That was a really poor choice. But Gideon showed up, and you can see that damage. Oh, the damage is unreal, guys. There's so much damage in Paragon now. And since our team is spawning in now, we're able to kind of get our lane situated, everything like that. I am one of the 2 heroes that still have Prime, so, I don't want to back, but with everybody spawning back in, hopefully we can make something happen. Now, Raptor is up, and I'm going to head over to Raptor. We definitely want to keep it out of their hands. And sure enough, I'm able to kind of zone them out a little bit. Just my presence alone was enough to chase them off. But, hey, since they left, let's take Raptor. And that's exactly what we do. Now, I would definitely like to see Prime put to better use than securing Raptor, but, hey, Raptor's a good choice as well. Now, this is the first experience with Deathcrawler Grux right here. Yeah. 2140.1 damage, guys. That's enough. That's me with Prime. I've got Thunder Cleaver on, so I've got some basic armor, and one shot. What can you say? I'm Steel. My name means tank. One shot, man. It's really unfortunate, but is what it is. We ended up turning, or my team ended up turning that around, and we made some progress there. But man, that's devastating. That's heartbreaking. I cannot do anything to Grux right now because as a tank, he's going to one-shot me, and it feels bad, man. Once I spawn back in, I'm going to head to my safe lane. There is a little bit of a presence in safe lane. Once we kind of get this mid lane pushed, we're going to head over there and hopefully deal with Iggy. Now, again, you can see they have wards. As soon as I round this corner, Iggy's facing me, about to shoot me. So they've got a ward right there, which, hey, no problem with that. I'm still, I can handle Iggy. Now, our Kallari is pushing like crazy in our off lane. So I want to keep Iggy engaged. I want him yelling at his team, come help me, come help me. And, I end up going down, but, I'm trusting Murdoch to actually secure that kill. Sure enough, he is able to, and you can see that huge collapse that they do to take care of Murdoch, which, this is what we wanted. Kallari's here, he's able to take down this inhib. Sure, we traded an ADC and a support for an inhib, but having that huge team presence on that side, they're not securing objectives. They're getting kills. We're securing objectives. And, Kallari's doing his thing. He's able to go back in and end up securing Revenant. So we not only get a T2 and inhib, we get a Revenant kill as well, And you can see they're forced to back. So they're not even going to get a tier 2 off of that. These are some type of plays that you can coordinate with your team. If you know someone's pushing, you can play aggressive. You can do those type of things because kills don't win games, guys. Playing the objective does. And being able to force that objective the way we just did is absolutely huge. Now from here, we're just going to march on our safe lane. You know, taking that inhib is just devastating to the enemy team. You know, that's going to really force one hero to stay over there. And, you know, Revenant doesn't have wave clear. So if he's the guy staying over there, it's going to really hurt their team. And you can see we're able to just push down this T2 because our team was keeping up the pressure in mid. And, you know, we might be able to make something happen here, but Gideon says, hey, man, I'm pretty low on mana, and, hey, it's time to leave. Let's just get out. Let's go secure Prime. Let's go secure Raptor. Let's go do something else. We don't need to stick around and deal with Iggy. You know, Iggy, his only job is to defend, so let's just not worry about him. And sure enough, we head over to Prime. Now, we do get a little contest from Prime. You know, we're able to take it out fairly easy, but the enemy team shows up. Gideon uses his ult. You know, we're able to get some damage onto some people. Grux shows up, and check this out, guys. Another one. Another one. You know, man, I haven't really talked about this in a video. I haven't talked about all the things that are upsetting to me about Paragon at the moment. But man, having a tank be able to one-shot other tanks is a little bit ridiculous in my opinion. And, you know, I gotta say, it really takes away from Paragon. Luckily, Kalari was on the ball, and he's able to wrap this match up. You know, us securing Prime that last time, that really kind of won the game for us. But, you know, being one-shot for the second time as a full tank, with basic armor, ability armor, you know, doing the best that I can. Only other thing I could have put on was maybe that Zephyr card, you know, with more basic armor. But still, getting hit for, you know, over 2,000 damage as a tank is just brutal. And, you know, is what it is. Well, that's going to wrap it up, guys. This was an absolute blast of a match other than dealing with Grux, but we did have a lot of fun. And if you did enjoy, show me some love. Leave me a comment. Think about subscribing. Join our Discord if you haven't done it already. I'd love to play with y'all guys. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.